And we are live. It's another Friday night, and I'm excited. Jax, Mangled Unicorn,
Hi.
is joining me tonight. Second time on my channel, and thanks for hanging out with me, Chica. As,
Thanks for
as,
having me.
as you may know, she's the sassy one. She's the one that likes to do the sassy smacking. So I've got the sassy smacker right here. So okay. I just think that's adorable. That's a lot of fun. So, smack that sassy, as she would say. And we have waiting for us. Well, first of all, oh, yes, it's ladies' night. And we're feeling. Heather does know how to type, how to spell. I kind of left out but yeah, I like putting something fun in the beginning, for music. So because everyone knows I like music. And Magus is like, ladies' night. Oh boy. And hello, Magus. Welcome, welcome. And so he said to you, this will be fun. I only know Jax from the comment section. Well, here she is. And there's
Hi.
people alive. Jax, you're always so kind. Bless you. Yes, she is.
Thank you.
Feeling
I like to
alone.
help. It brings me joy.
And if it doesn't bring you joy, then you shouldn't be doing it. So that's something that
Very true.
I always say. If you start, feeling like your channel's a chore or you're not happy or if it isn't fun anymore, then why do it? So, and I tend to quote Mr. O.T. on this channel, but Peter was
You keep saying it, and you're gonna summon her. It's your fault. Your own fault.
and at least she did interrupt me in the bathtub again tonight. As she did last night. Oh, that was a lot of fun. So, Magus, thank you for subscribing to Jax's channel. And we have Moira. Hello, Moira.
Hi,
And
Moira.
so this is going. We'll give people a few minutes because I know there's a couple other lives going on tonight. So people will be
Yeah,
trickling in and out.
Friday night is popular. Time to party.
Yep. So Heather's going to be quiet now for a second. Jax, for people who don't know you, aside from chat, anything you want to share about you, your week, how things are going? That's how we usually roll on Friday nights.
It's been an interesting week. I don't know about any of you, but I've been like insanely tired, and no amount of sleep is ever enough. And I would say in the last 2 weeks, I feel like I've kind of had to like re-go over things that I thought I was done with, but
Mm-hmm.
at least that it was a refresher course. It wasn't as bad, but you still have to face those things and keep moving forward. It's very important, but I think that's all part of the veil thinning and like stuff bubbling to the surface is part of leaving behind what no longer serves us, because like if something still bothers you, you need to sit and think like, what is it about this that I need to still feel so that I can be whole and continue? Because we all have it all within us.
Yes, I second that. And I was shuffling before our show, and it's interesting how you said it because I got the let go card and I decided what's on the bottom, and I got cut ties. So I love that. It's cutting ties with things that no longer serve you. So,
Chop chop, bitches. Oh, can we say bitches online?
oh, yeah. Oh, honey, this is Friday night. Entertainment purposes, of course, only. This is an adult show. Now, I know some people on some channels like to use the MF word, but we'll leave the mother part of it. But I've seen some channels lately that no worries. I don't monetize or anything like that. We have Sandy Black all the way from England. So it's very late for you. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us. And we have Hershey, the shadow reader. She
Hi,
is,
Hershey. Hi.
and we have
Hi,
I.
Sandy.
Yeah, so everybody used to jazz and chat. Here she is in person, in the
It's
flesh.
me in all my weird glory.
Hey, like I said in the
Mm,
beginning, if we were all the same, life would be pretty damn boring. So,
Very true.
and let's see, people saying hello. anything else you want to share about your channel? If you're going to be doing any uh, recordings of pulling cards, or what is your plan? What's your goal for your channel this year, or within the next within the next 6 months to a year? How about that?
I mean, I've been going through a lot of like difficult things, and I'm kind of starting to think about making like little short videos, like little retrospects of things. I call them spiritual pancakes, little bite size bits of things.
I love that.
And I would like to get better with my craft, right? With like reading cards and mediumship. Um, so
Ooh,
that's all stuff I plan on working with. But I do like playing with the cards. I like having something for my hands to do because I'm very excitable. And I just really like to put my time where I think it's wise that people are helpful with another. I don't believe in like chopping other people and things down. We all need a little help in this life.
yes, here, here. And when you mention mediumship abilities, are there any particular clairs that you are already feel that are heightened that you want to work on more, or new ones you want to explore? I wasn't sure about. I didn't know about this mediumship. I'm interested.
I hear things a lot like my clear audience is pretty kicking. But the biggest thing that I have is my clear empathy, right? Because it's more than just I can tell what emotions people are feeling. It's almost like I'm experiencing what they're feeling, almost in like a grief bear way. Like the people that I've helped in my life, it's almost like trying to help them balance the energy, right? And like I know that my skill set lies in holding space for people when they're at the bottom somewhere. You know what I mean? Like when they don't believe in themselves anymore, because I've been there a few times. That's where I'm really good at holding space for people, and I would like to be able to help more than just like a one-on-one person basis. But I'm limited because I have some medical problems, and I've really enjoyed becoming a part of this community and helping people. And I just have like a natural attunement to like justice and like what's right. And I used to work for Disney, well, Disney, so I'm in Florida, right? I worked at the call center for 6 years or so. And,
My.
I was a really great employee until, the blatant consumerism just didn't sit right with me anymore. There was a particular instance that broke my heart, and that I'll save for another time. But I just want to do something that's fulfilling emotionally and spiritually because I can't be any other way.
Hmm. We got to be able to practice that self care for ourselves as well. I mean, we can hold space for others, but when we, especially with a job like that, for some people, I mean, I know what it was like to be trapped in a job and having a panic anxiety attack, and knowing that I could not turn around. The door was right behind me. I could not turn around and run out that door because I was seeing, as you're saying, consumerism. Back when the last time I actually had a retail job, it was, working for Joanne Fabrics. And this was when everybody was doing coupons and people were coming in just blatantly abusing it. And of course, the company really didn't want to upgrade our registers. And Heather was a cashier. And so who was at ground zero with all these people? Oh my God. And one day it was just like, I had a quick break and I looked behind me. There was the door and I just wanted to run. So, we've all been to those places where we've just, and I love how you said that you want to be able to be there to hold space for people. Because right now there are a lot of people going through a rough time, not just what's going on in the country, which is adding to a lot of people's mental health, emotional well being, spiritual, well being. And if there wasn't anything else that you wanted to add, I kind of wanted to go into my little thing. But I want to make sure
Go
you
for it.
think, okay.
Yeah,
So,
ride, girl, ride.
oh boy. So I want to recommend a channel to everybody. I have to, let me do this here. Her name is, oh, I saved her. Come on, where we are here now. Her name is Kelly Ann Maddox, Maddox. And I'll just show her your face because if you just type in Kelly Maddox, she'll come right up. And she just popped up on my feed actually yesterday. And she was talking about, she's from England, and her description was witches, things are really bad. Let's talk. And I'm like, okay, somebody wanting to talk about what's going on in the world. And this really touched me too, because, well, I'll finish with her so I don't, lose track of where I'm going. So I don't want to go back and forth. So with Kelly, it's a wonderful video talking about how we as witches, mystics, healers, artists, people who deeply feel everything that's going on in the world, and being torn between, how can we help, taking in so much information from the TVs and being in that panic and fear mode of, am I doing enough? How can I do enough? How can I be a good? I mean, she just went through the whole gamut of. Hey, now with your question, Sandy, we'll get to opening the floor in just a second. Thank you, sweetheart. And so it's about 35 minutes, and she may not be everybody's cup of tea. There is language, but it's not to the point where it. I'll just leave that for everybody's, whether it's something that,
It's spicy. Just say it's spicy.
it's spicy. So she's a hot little tamale over there in England. I didn't realize England, Sandy, you may relate to this, that there are, what she said, fascist groups of people trying to infiltrate in their government as well. Yes, Kelly has a book also called Rebel Witch, which I think I'm going to get. But for this video, she did include some links to be able to help in any way you can, with if you want to give a few dollars to any of the groups that are helping here in the United States fighting against what's going on in Minneapolis and across our country. There is if you go to her channel, if you go into her description, there's one for Keith Porter Jr.'s daughter. There's funding for frontline people. I donated $5 for a frontline. It was what I could do. And so for me, this was great because I just kind of been sitting here. And like we talked that one Saturday, there was one day when I just went down a spiral because this is why, because I tell Shan, I can't live in this like he can day in and day out, because I get more than 10, 15 minutes of everything it's just like I'm toast, and I've been kind of stepping back and going, well, how can I make a difference? And it was just like, ask and you shall receive. The universe put her into my feed. And I was like, oh my God, this is, thank you, And so I was able to, and she talks about how as witches, even if we're artists, how we can put our energy into the works we create and helping people. There's so many different ways that we can help one another. And I think what really, well, I don't think it was those. Sometimes you don't know how the algorithms work. People know Lexi Frachet, and Lexi, if you see this, I hope I am pronouncing your name properly. She's a part of our community. She's starting to do recorded videos. If you remember her, she on Hershey's channel, her and I, Tom and Brian, were the group teams for the scavenger hunts. So that Lexi, and she did a video, I think it was this last week, wanting to talk about, some things that she had gone on and when she went her trip to New York. But what I really loved, because I wasn't sure what to do, because everybody knows Heather is not political. I don't like doing cards on politics and readings and stuff and whatnot, because I try to keep this, a safe, positive energy. But every now and then just got to talk about what's going on. And I wasn't sure really how to do that or continue doing that moving forward with my channel without it becoming people coming to me for political readings. Thank you. Even as my guest, she's still modding.
I just want to test it out.
And it works. So Lexi mentioned in her commentary that, she's been noticing a lot of people like, oh, my decks are coming in late, them damn tariffs, the cost of this, and she was just kind of like, I just kind of wanted to take a step back and say, be one of the few that have said anything where she acknowledged silence. And like what Kelly said, silence equals
Complicity.
thank you. It supports complicity. It's ignoring what's going on, and we're not saying that we have to mention this every day in every one of our videos. But I love how she brought up to the front that she wanted to say, I, being an American citizen, am against this administration, what ICE is doing, and I'm right there behind her, what they are doing to people, what they're doing now, kidnapping children on their way to school. As an American citizen, YouTuber, I have a channel. I'm not an influencer, but the more people start at least making a stand in at least one video stating that this is not right, this is unacceptable, this is not our country, and we need to stand up and do what we can. And with Kelly's video, she goes in and expresses different ways that you can help. The small donations to one of the organizations, helping local groups, any food pantries, people who support immigrant, whatever it is, small ways of showing solidarity and stating that this is not right. So for me, on my channel, thank you, Lexi, for pointing that out. Because I have been, one of those people, I don't want to say hiding, because again, it's not that I don't care, that I don't feel what's going on. I do, and it's horrible. And I have to be very careful that I don't do a down spiral. But for me, this felt very empowering. Again, I really recommend Kelly's video, whether or not you consider yourself a witch, if you do spell work, even just praying, no matter what it is that you do, whatever your specialty is, and contacting those in your community that you reach out and help. So I just wanted to say that on my channel. Thank you, Lexi, for bringing that to the forefront in your video. I think that's really important that we at least at some point in one of our videos, makes a comment that, this is not acceptable and it needs to stop. And so vote, people, because even though some people think their votes don't count, they do. They really do. Voices count. So
Hi, Jackie B.
Jackie B. And it's Miss Jackie B if you're nasty. Hello, my dear. And I think in about 40 minutes, Jackie is going to be a guest on Scott's channel. He's doing a panel introducing all the newbies, or as they said in NCIS, all the probies in our community. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Miss Jackie, go check that out. And Tom is here. You woke up from your nap, Tom. Lexi Schmexy. So Lexi actually got to meet Tom recently when she went on her trip to New York. So that was fun. Let's see. I know time is flying by, and Irene says, I can't vote, but I'm always out there and drive anyone who wants a ride. Just be careful. But you already know that. You've got the skills, to protect. So that's just something that I really am enjoying. A lot of new faces that are coming into my feed, people being introduced. Miss Taro D introducing us to Mary Grace Faroon, Lexi coming to our community as well. There is also, oh my goodness, there was, Kelly now being added to the mix. Oh, Lennon Smith. I love watching Lennon's videos. So I'm really enjoying this freshness and people, and I'm inspired because, and I'm not trying to take up too much of, time for Jax to say anything, but I enjoy, that there are content creators who are able to do these videos and express their opinions, their perspectives, their experiences, without having to deal with the problems of gatekeeping, spiritual bypassing, all that good stuff. And I love how they always respectfully acknowledge that this is me. This is just how I am. These are just my thoughts. What are yours? And I like that they keep that open, that they don't, again, gatekeep. The gates are open. So I'm very inspired by a lot of these new folks. So, alrighty, Heather, Will. And if there anything else, Jax, you wanted to bring up?
No, variety is the spice of life. You can't have everything the same. I like being a Fruit Loop in a world of Cheerios. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's fun.
I love that. So let's see. Irene says the Liberal Party tells me who I'm driving. Oh, okay. So that's how you help out. There you go. Little ways.
Hi, Tom.
Tom, you're leaving? Oh.
No, I said hi. I said hi,
Oh,
Tom.
I said hi. I was like, he just got here. So let's see. Heather, I discovered a Greek goddess named Aletheia today. Ooh, I love the look of that name. I gotta write her down. I'm also thinking when I saw the way her name's written, I was thinking Princess Leia too with the EIA. I was like, oh, wait a minute, there's an L, there's a so that's where Heather's brain goes. So I'm not alone. So let me write that name down. I may have to look into her for a sacred feminine. Magus, thank you. All righty, name written down. So let's see. After 3 decades, I got caught not being Canadian by them. What? Oh, yeah. Just be careful. But I don't know how Canada is with their immigrants, but yeah, that could just be. And apparently, even Kelly, who's is English, and she's yes, and she's mentioning that they're having problems there too. And so, Sandy, I did see your question. I'm going up. Hopefully, I think you were asking. There we go. And I'll let Jax answer first. From what you've seen, if you have a tarot or what you've seen from readings, what is your favorite tarot card and why?
The Magician, because I love tools and things, and I want to touch everything.
She's the one that, your parents would say, stop touching that, stop touching that. Right?
They have this museum here down in St. Pete. It's called Fairgrounds, and it's an interactive museum, which means the only art that you can't touch is behind glass. So like they have part of it looks like an old school, like neon Miami hotel, and like the rooms are individually themed. Then there's like a strawberry cake room. They have like a dragon coming out of the wall. There's a spaceship in the middle, which I think is funny because over in Tampa, they have that strip club spaceship, but now they have one for kids over in St. Pete. But you could like, even Vin, who was like 16, they had to touch all. I said, just let go, dive in, touch the buttons, do it.
Wow, that is a lot of fun. I remember being an art security guard for the art gallery in Buffalo, and the parents were trying to teach their kids, you don't have to listen to their rules, go touch something, and there were, they would try to wait until our backs were turned, and then, they would tell, okay, go touch that, and I'm like, what is the hell's the matter with you? And then people, when we would have parties, it's so interesting how these conversations go on a Friday. But we would have these parties with the businesses and the corporations. They would rent out, the one section upstairs and being security guards because there's going to be catering, there's going to be food. People would walk around after having food on their hands and going up to 17th century paintings and some, even older, and touching them. Can you see I'm still fired up and passionate about that afterward? I was in my 20s. I was 25 to 28 or 26 or something like that. I worked there for like 3 years, and still I can remember all of that. So, but yeah, no respect. So it's another thing that, we need to, as a society, we need to start teaching, kids how to have respect. And there's just a lot of, from what I've seen, oh, not that I want to say the word, Heather can't think, maybe it's because of the caffeine. But there's so much self-entitlement, well, I'm entitled. I can do, and it's just kind of like, no.
I think it also has to do with emotional regulation too, because if you don't know how to emotionally regulate, it's easier to act out and do the wrong thing.
Kristen.
And it's a multi-pronged problem. Hi, Kristen.
Yep, Kristen joined us. Shelby Moonfox has joined us.
Hi, Shelby.
And Maggie goes, yep, that's what I was thinking. Of course. So, but yeah. Though Heather will say one thing, because I can't get into trouble now for it. I used to, a couple times I volunteered to do the midnight shift for the art gallery, because you have to have 24-hour security at a gallery like that. And I would usually do that for, the holidays, and the more seasoned guards would have their time off with their families. And I'd be like, yeah, sign me up for so-and-so. And one night there was a sculpture that I absolutely loved. And I just told myself, just this one time, it was an ARP, but his piece, this piece was absolutely smooth, polished marble. And I just took my finger and just kind of went, oh, that feels so, that's beautiful. Okay, thank you. I won't do that again. So I kind of did do as I say, and whatever. But yeah, that was the only time.
Rules for thee and not for me.
But just that one time, I was very careful. But I would enjoy just being able to go down into the vault, because we had to check for temperature and make sure everything was still on and everything looked good. And I could pull racks out and just look at, artwork that I felt like looking at that wasn't,
That's cool. You were the Ben Stiller.
I did I never saw that movie, but okay. You're talking about
you're the nighttime guard.
So
then you can come off the painting like in Mary Poppins, pull you in. That would be cool. Sorry, I have an active imagination.
Didn't know how to get out. There was actually an episode of Charmed. That's what happened. They got trapped inside a painting and they couldn't get out. And someone set it on fire. But yeah, that would be cool. Okay, there's an interesting question. If you could go inside a painting, which one would it be?
Starry Night.
Ooh, that question 2 for you, chat. For me, I would have to say The Last Supper, because I would be like, okay, see this person right here? That Mary Magdalene. That ain't the other guy. No. See, she got breasts. She's got no red hair. No, that. But yeah, or I could pop into the Mona Lisa and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
On a bad day, I'll hang out with that guy in the screen. Let's both do some, screen therapy.
So there you go. Kristen said, I worked at a museum in college. I tied tags on frog legs.
Interesting.
Fun times. Yeah. Let's see. Irene says, I wanted to do a Starry Night-esque picture on the ceiling of my van. Oh, you should totally. But a painting that I would love to go into is one of Monet's. I mean, just the beauty of them being on the outside. I can just imagine going into one of the lily, the lily pads, the lily ponds, or on the bridge. So that too.
Yeah, I would love to dive into a Monet. That looks stunning.
And Kristen said, maybe the coronation of Josephine Bonaparte. Might I be a little, wait a minute, but I might be a little underdressed. So I'm trying to remember that one. I might be a little. Okay. Explain, Kristen. Explain. I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to assume. Because like they say, that would make an ass out of you and me. Oh, you got to build the ceiling first. There you go. So, all righty. Anything else, Chicky, or you want to open up the floor for? So Sandy, my favorite tarot card, High Priestess. And I have reason for High Priestess. It started all the way back in high school people have heard me tell the story about the poetry workshop. The first boy I ever really truly fell in love with was there to do poetry, and I was like, oh, a boy that does poetry.
Yeah.
And our instructor brought the Thoth deck and wanted us to go through, pick a card, write a poem about it. And I took one look at that High Priestess. I'm like, oh, that's mine. She's mine. And so ever since then, it's all about the High Priestess. So sometimes that'll really make or break a deck for me is the High Priestess. It really is. Here, 9. Look at this backup is actually the coronation of the Emperor Napoleon, but Josephine is front and center. Okay, gotcha. Woo! And Tom, I would love to go into something like Duchamp's Nude Descending a Staircase, or maybe The Bride Stripped Bare by Her Bachelors, even. Just for the weirdness. The slow down time freeze frames. I'm trying to remember The Bride Stripped Bare by Her Bachelors. Could you imagine being stuck inside of an Escher?
I was just thinking that.
The nude reminds me of so Tom likes that because it reminds him of some good old acid trips. All right, gotcha, Tom. Gotcha. But yeah, that was a really cool, what paintings you would want to go into. Oh, there we go. I was wondering when someone was going to mention Dolly. For weirdness, stuck inside a Dolly. Yeah. Some people's minds, let me tell you.
They built a dome part, like how they have in Vegas for the Dali Museum over in Tampa. I got to go check it out sometime.
Ooh. I think the only one that I know that I think that I like is the one with the clock melting or the watch melting. But yeah. Watch after the show. I'm going to be thinking about all these paintings. I'm like, oh, I want to go to that painting. Oh, how come I didn't think of this painting? So,
one of my favorite parts of Mary Poppins was when they hopped into the chalk drawings.
Yep, that was cool. I was like, I want to be able to do that. And he just celebrated his 100th birthday. He's still going strong. Unbelievable.
Heck yeah.
Bride.
Did you know in an interview he said that they asked him to be James Bond, and he was like, "Did you hear my accent in Mary Poppins?" No.
Oh, the bird babies are awake. Aww. Let's see. So Magus, favorite tarot cards. 4 of Swords, of course. 8 of Cups. I got that today in one of my readings, Magus. 6 of Cups, 6 of Swords, Star, High Priestess. It was supposed to be one card, Magus. He's throwing in the whole deck. No, Magician. So many favorite cards. Yes, I agree, but I would say High Priestess is my favorite. So, already, Bride Stripped Bare. You be smushed flat. Tom said true. I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look that painting up. I probably know it and just don't, Well, here's an interesting question. If you could jump inside any tarot card, which one would it be and by which creator? How about that one?
Yeah, that's too. I would want to go into something soft and fluffy, like in my Squid Cake tarot, because it's like kawaii, and I love kawaii. I want soft, squishy things. Any of those would do.
Let's see. Christian says, I don't have a favorite card. Okay. And Tom said, at least I didn't say Duchamp's Fountain. Oh, no. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to go look that one up. Irene says The Hermit. Wow. For me, I don't know if I have a high. Oh, I have a card right here. It is The Hermit, actually, Irene, and it's from the Tarot de Louis. And she reminds me of one of the aspects of Namorigna or Moring. I'm trying to learn how to pronounce your name properly. Morinaga, or the Morrigan. And that is that one right there. I would love to pop in there and say, ooh, let's go for a walk. Guide me, help me. And there's her raven right there. I absolutely love that card. So that would be one of the ones. But yeah, that's very, very cool. Later on, again, I'll think of other ones. I'm like, oh, I could have said this. I could have said that. So, all righty, we're going to open the floor then for readings. And if anybody wants to keep sharing, I will go ahead and put that up as well and share. So I'm just looking here for show.
I got to turn my video off for a second. I need to move. Hang on.
Gotcha. And so Kristen says, I like to go into 3 of Wands. Excuse me. Not sure which deck. Oh my God. I want to hop into a boat and sail away. Yep. Come sail away. Come sail away. Won't you sail away with me? Who knows? Maybe Gypsy JJ will pop in now. That's one of her favorite bands. But yeah, 3 of Wands. That is really interesting. Other cards to jump into. Well, sure as hell wouldn't want to be in the 10 of Swords, I'll tell you what, as Miss Nancy would say. The Star would be a beautiful card, to pop into. And the Temperance, because it's kind of like the art card too, based on, when you can, you compare it to the Thoth, and it's the art card, mixing. I do have a beautiful Fyodor Pavlov Page of Cups, and she's an artist. She's got her paintbrushes, her sketchbooks, everything all hitched to her side, and she's holding. So yeah, that would definitely be cool. So while Jax is relocating, let me grab out a sheet of paper. And Kristen, I got to take a picture and send it to you. We got a Norse mead for Inmulk. And Shan can't drink it. He says it's too sweet for him. But and it is sweet, but it's a apple-based honey mead. Must be a lot of honey because it's very sweet. I'll have to take a picture of the bottle and send it to you. So for anybody who would like a reading from Miss Jax and I, please go ahead and do the good old me in capital letters. While we're waiting, Kristen also said there's a lover's card that I'd love to go into, but I am blanking on the name of the deck. I don't own it. No stupid brain. We just get brain farts every now and then. And I love apple and honey mead. Yep, very sweet. So, all right, we got Irene. And what decks did you bring, Jax?
I brought my Rainbow Brain Skull Candy deck. It's kind of weird and like an LSD trip, and I like that. It's unique. I like unique decks. So I brought that, and I have a couple different ones depending on what somebody wants. I have an Awakening Intuition Oracle, and then I can also do Dumpster Fire or Affirminators, because it just really depends on the question.
Well, Irene, what is the question, my dear? Do you have one specific? And if you don't, then we'll do a general.
I still haven't fully learned tarot yet. I've really just like literally started. So
Well, we all got to
everything I've
start
done is
somewhere.
more by feels. It's a
Mhm.
weird thing. Like I actually felt something before I knew what I was looking at. It was the weirdest thing, but fun.
You really
General
tell.
for Irene.
All righty. And for me, I brought my Talisman Oracle, and I brought the Mind's Eye Tarot by Miss Olivia Rose. And I thought with the whimsical ways she did her art, that would pair nicely with some of Jax's cards. So it's weird. I kind of got like a dark deck and then a light deck. But hey, you got to have the light to balance the dark. Oh, okay. Kristen Louise. And is that a specific? I should get a reading on my relationship with Fox. But every time I have one on her, I get the Eight of Cups. Okay, so that would be, yeah, that would be third party. So we'll do a general unless if you want to kind of stick with that reading, we can always look at your energy. But if you keep getting the same cards, Kristen, that's pretty much the universe is going to be like, you want me to answer that again? So we'll stick with the
Hi,
general.
Selena.
Up. Selena. Hello, Selena, my dear. Work lurking. Oh, even on a Friday night. No rest for the
All
wicked.
right.
I tell you what.
Busy, busy, girl. Busy, busy.
But she's not wicked, wicked. She's wicked cool.
Wicked awesome, as they say up there.
Was that
All
the
right.
80s or was that the 90s? I think that was the
Uh,
90s. All
I
right.
think
So,
so. It was a Jimmy Fallon thing that he did on SNL. I think that was his era.
there you go.
All right. I'm going to do a 3 card for Irene. All right. For kind of a general. Let me just get my stuff out here. Okay. So your first card is number 8. It says, it's your own responsibility to expand instead of just contracting.
Ooh.
I think that's important now because all evil needs is for good men to do nothing. Those of us who have good intentions, we need to take up space and we need to do it unapologetically. From the book, here's what it says. Many will try to convince you to stay small, but very few will encourage you to grow. Only you are in charge of becoming big. Are you really doing what you want, or are you keeping yourself small?
Ooh.
Right? Your second card is the point of sleep is to let it all go. So, yeah, we need to feel our feelings. That's important, but we can't stay there constantly, right? And this is especially true for bad feelings, but it doesn't matter what it is. There's balance everywhere, right? Good or bad. From the book we have, there's a reason we spend so many hours sleeping. Take a break from thinking about your problems and just float away. If you give your subconscious some time to do its thing, you'll be surprised at how far it'll take you. So don't forget to tap into that intuition that we all have. There's a special something that happens at night. Not only do we clean our brain of toxins, right, for avoiding things like Alzheimer's and dementia, but it's kind of like, I think of it as a way of, I used to defrag your computer, your tower. Like it would be similar to that. Like your desk, your mind desk can get messy throughout the course of the day, and the rest gives you time to like integrate it all and get it organized if you need. And then your final card is the flow card. You're never more than a half a step away from being back in the flow. This almost all goes together. I love it when a plan comes together. So for the flow card, the creative force is all around you all the time. It's time to find your way back and dive in. It's not far from where you sit now. After all, it's the creative force. And that's what I have for you, Irene. I hope you like that.
Wow. I like that. And what the Fae is right. The Fae Queen has come to
Come play with us. Hi, Ginger.
this complete, sprinkle us with her fairy dust, her pixie dust. All righty. Bippity boppity boop. Here, well, that's fairy god. Well, that can still be, that's part of the Fae. Alrighty, Jackie Jacaranda is here. Hello,
Hi.
Jackie. I love when
J
she pops
Cubed.
because I love rolling my R. Jacaranda. Sounds sexy. Alrighty. So, Irene, your talisman card is courage. So tap into that inner courage that you have, my dear, to not be afraid to face each day as it comes, despite, a lot of the obstacles that you face. This card is acknowledging, that you have a lion's heart, that you're strong. Some people, have a hard time saying, you're so brave, you're so this, and sometimes that can kind of be triggering for some of us. But in this reading, it's just a gentle reminder that you do have the courage and the strength. You've come this far, and you share a lot of your resiliency when you share your story with us in chat. And so I think that's a beautiful card acknowledging that. It's basically like the strength card from the tarot. Now your tarot cards, I did get the Four of Pentacles. So it looks like it's time to maybe start conserving instead of it being a selfish, hoarding card. It's about looking at finances and learning how to start saving and how to start planning, and also keeping, especially when it comes to finances or anything that has to do with pentacles like health, wealth, security, I don't say disability possibly as well, because it has to do with health. But those things that are associated with the pentacles, keeping certain things to yourself and not sharing with people, who may want to take or try to take that or take advantage. So there's a lot of things about keeping certain aspects of that to yourself. But it's about planning, your resources, saving, keeping an eye on where you spend, and again, who you share your personal financial information with, health wise, all that stuff. Middle card, Ten of Swords. You're going through a lot, but again, remember that Ten of Swords, we can pick ourselves up. It's a card acknowledging that we've been through a hell of a lot of shit. Those swords are in our back, but we have the power to take those out, get up off the ground, because there's there's only one way, and that's up in the card. And that beautiful sunrise is starting to, rise above her. And so, it's time to just taking basically your power back, taking your thoughts back, taking, being able to clearly be able to see. I mean, with all those swords, there is a clarity now of what you see, of what's going on. And it's time to remove those swords, start communicating what your needs are, what needs to be done, and to start looking towards each day with a new sense of freshness, because the swords are about air. So when you see that sun, take a deep breath, honor the sun. I know you love nature, be a part of that. Give that pain to Mother Earth when you go out, hands on the ground, whatever it is, the trees, whatever helps you manage the removal of those swords, to just give it to the earth, thank her for that, and start a new day. And your bottom card is the Three of Cups. It's a beautiful celebration with people that hold space for you, that are there to support you, that accept you for who you are, and they celebrate you, your highs, your lows, your achievements. Even when we have failures or things, we might make mistakes, we still have those people that are there to support us, to care for us, and give us that emotional nourishment. So that's what I have for you, Irene. Thank you for letting us read for you. I gotta make sure I put the cards back in the right deck so I don't mix them up. Alrighty, pulling them out one by one. There you go, girl. And another thing I always love with the Ten of Swords is that every time you pull one out, you name what it was. And something that I love that Jackie B says is that I don't own when she gets a card that could be a possible negative future card. She's like, nope, right here and now, I don't own that energy. Pulling out that sword, acknowledging what that was, taking your power back and saying, nope, I'm not acknowledging that. That one's out. That, and go through and let that empower you. Do we get a request for anybody else? Just so that I. Let's see. Kristen had a question. Oh, they're talking about a deck. Okay. Ooh, some new decks. All righty. So up next is Miss Kristen Louise. Ooh, I like that one. I love the sound of cards shuffling.
It's ASMR cards, man. I love it.
Except there's been shows I've been in where it's clunk, 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 and you're like, whoa, too close to the microphone. But otherwise, I love that beautiful shuffling sound.
I used to like to watch the mahjong games on TikTok because that sound just reminds me of my grandparents' house and just like the little clacking of the tiles because they're not speaking. You don't really hear them speaking, but I love it.
All righty. Well, that was a flipper. Okay. Interesting how certain cards come out. That's why a lot of personal readings, can be for the collective. Sorry, I stepped away. Selena, I did back Travis. Oh, so they're talking about some more of the decks. Okay. All righty. Lots of decks coming out. So what you got, girl?
I have your first card is no decisions, just grooving. So stop making life harder than it actually is. You don't need to tell your heart to beat. It just does. And that's a more important job than anything your chattering mind does. Let go and dance the rhythm of it all. So less mind, more heart. That's a lot harder sometimes than it needs to be. But it takes practice, and the more you work at it, the better it becomes. And we have this card have a name. All right. So this card doesn't really particularly have a name, but it looks like he's stepping outside of what's going on behind him, which it looks like a little circus tent. He's just outside doing his thing. It says, take a break from cheering and jeering at the circus. Haven't you noticed that it's always been this way? No one is forcing you to participate. You can always step outside and do something else. It means we're in control of our destiny, as are you.
Mm-hmm.
Choices are hard, but instead of using your mind so much, feel what you need to because your soul really knows the way of what you're doing. And then your final card, jumping is scary, but staying frozen is scarier. And I understand that from a perspective of decision paralysis, right? So for this card, the world moves forward even when we stand still. Making no choice is still a choice. Stop pretending like the world can be paused and act with courage now. Fortune favors the bold. And that's what I have for you tonight, Kristen.
All righty. Thank you. You said something about art, right, in your first card? Did you mention the word art when you were reading the cards? I thought I heard art because I was like, hey, I got the creativity card. But,
let me see.
It's okay. They're still talking about the decks.
I gotta throw them back in.
I heard the word. I could have sworn I heard the word art come out. Ooh.
No, it says no decisions, just moving.
Wow. I like that kind of woo with other readers. Okay, so Kristen, your talisman card is creativity. Just like that spider being the ultimate creator of the universe, it's time to start. And I'm looking at your cards here. Start to create your own web, create your own universe, create your own world for yourself. And the creativity, I'm thinking of this as, plans. And when I say blueprints, this could very well be in drawing or doing a diagram, vision boards, but putting together something collectively that would feel like you are creating your own space, your own world, your own universe, your own sense of place. Okay. Now I was told to get pull a court card because I keep some of my court cards separate. And so this is from what my pendulum was saying, this is the energy of that you need to I shouldn't tell someone they should, but this is what's coming across as the energy that needs to be, I don't want to use the word assimilated, but this is to become. This is the energy to encompass, to embrace, to empower yourself. I got the Queen of Wands. Not the Queen of Wands, excuse me, the Queen of Swords. She's like, Heather, that is a sword. And I opened up the book for this one because I like Olivia's perspectives on her cards. The Queen of Swords is calm and poised. She is an intellectual, perceptive, and discerning woman, which you are already, with your degrees and everything. So I can see this very much being you. But this card represents truths coming to light and looking into the future with maturity and calm judgment. And I know that you know what that means. So this is a card about independence, perceptiveness, and intelligence. And knowing how to also communicate, again, your needs, your desires. And this is also not just communicating with others, but with yourself as well. Get in touch with that. Now, your top card is the Empress. Again, another card of creativity. This is the Empress where, she is of the earth. You embrace her. She is the mother of fertility, creativity, bringing things to life. So working with the spider, with grandmother spider, also connected with the creativity card. This is about you creating your own garden, your own heaven on earth, your own place where you can flourish and be that sensual, beautiful empress. And for me, the Empress embodies all of the queens, having, your own sense of security, independence, the cups with love, sensuality, relationships, the wands, that fiery passion, and even with the swords, being able to breathe, communicate, see with clarity. This is just a beautiful card. And your underlying energy, my dear, the Devil. Things that you got to let go of, things that are no longer healthy for you. So the situation kind of having to, they say the devil's in the details. So just really sitting with this energy and saying, okay, what is holding me back that I'm allowing to hold me back? And I'm just going to leave it there, Kristen. Thank you, my dear. All righty. Whew, I need a sip. Good night, Richleen. Thanks for popping in.
Good night, Richleen.
Yep. Ooh, that devil. Oops. Yep. Yep, Bruce. You're welcome, my dear. All righty. So, how are you on time? We are, because I know that with your physical.
I'm okay. I'm okay right now. I'm still going.
Okay, so she's still going. So if anybody else would like a reading, please go ahead and put me in big caps. And if you have a specific question, I mean, this one here I can't answer. Did you see the new DMD deck codex? That's not a question I can put to cards. But if you have another one, Tom, I'm just having fun. So let's see. I have to rewind to hear Jackson's reading. I had to clean the litter. Yeah, with 6 cats, 7 cats. Yeah, I believe that you have to do that on a regular basis during the day. So, but well, what we could do, seeing that we don't have any, right now, any requests, we can always do a collective. Would you be
Yeah,
up for that?
let's do it. I would.
All righty. Oh, I love when cards pick themselves. You shuffle, okay, no jumpers, okay,
Yeah.
You're like, me.
I got 2 jumpers.
Oh,
Let's see what
Ginger
we got.
too. So we'll do you, Ginger.
Oh,
after that
okay.
collect. So this is for the collective. She's embracing my cottage witch. I think they call that cottage core or witch core. I guess that's a thing that I see people, on YouTube.
All right. For the collective, I have every timeline exists. If you can imagine it, then it exists somewhere in space and time. Like a radio, your brain is a receiver of information. You can tune into any reality you choose if you're able to align with it. And we also have, this is 34. This is my card, man. Your behavior may be too rigid. Get wild and go make something explode for science.
I love that.
So don't be afraid to push the buttons. It's okay.
When they say, don't push that red button, what do we do? Let's push that red button.
Push the button.
Already for the collective wisdom, tapping into the wisdom right now of our elders, believing in the wisdom that we have accumulated in our lives, to be able to trust in that wisdom, our intuition, and to make the right choices. I don't know if Magus is still here, but his card came up for swords. This is the time to start taking a break, taking a rest. Step back this weekend from as much social media, scrolling, and just being in the moment, being outside in nature, doing something that you love that's creative, spending time with family, but detaching and taking time for some self-care and rest this weekend. Because yes, the underlying card is the 5 of Cups, because there's a lot of us going through a lot of anxiety, worry, sadness, and depression. And those are all valid, emotions, but we need to take a step back, take a breather, and do some self-care for us. So, all righty. Now we get to do Ginger.
Self-care is life.
Yes, it is. Okay. So one of my new here, let me put this on here. So, me, one of my new versions of me this year, embracing my cottage witch energy read. All righty. Hey, Viviani. What's up, sweetheart?
Hi, Viviani.
Oh, Ginger, you're going to like this card.
We got a repeater.
Woo, ding, ding. Ginger, you win the booty prize. You got the repeater.
All right, Ginger, your first card is this one. Let every cat out of every bag. Keeping everything in is painful. Let the truth out. It will work wonders for you. Be kind, but be honest. So don't hold back. Your second card, this is the repeater. It's your job to expand, not contract. New year, new you, perhaps?
Ooh.
Don't stop growing. Don't ever stop. And then this is accept how you feel and then move through it.
Ooh, I
It's
love
like we were
that.
talking about earlier. You gotta, sit with it, but don't buy the season pass. You gotta go home after the day, right? So the first thing you look for on a map is the phrase, you are here. Find out where you are currently in your emotion. Now look at the map and determine where you would like to go and enjoy the walk along the way. That's what I have for you today, Ginger.
I love that. And she goes, freaking cats. Hey. But yeah, and she says, love that. So, Ginger, about this new year that you're embracing this new you. You got it, girl. You got the rebirth card. So this is the time to be able to rebirth, renew. Like last night with the readings, we were doing the renewals. So this spring, maybe do some ceremony, maybe do ritual of some kind to be able to tap into, like we were looking at our winner's journey, tapping into what you're into right now with your liminal space. And when spring, honey, comes a beautiful, beautiful rebirth. Your tarot cards, I was guided to pull a court card for you, and I got the Page of Swords. Almost looks like she's smoking something, but it's a fish, and I think that's a fish in her hands. I don't know what it is, but Ginger, I don't know what you're smoking, but if you got any, go ahead, girl. Or this could be
Smoke
incense,
if you got 'em.
or this could be incense that you're lighting up. But she works for the school district, so she can't do that. So with the Page of Swords, she is curious and ready to explore. This card signifies excitement and passion for the future, following your own path. It's telling you to take that leap of faith and start that thing you've been putting off. And it's about energy, curiosity, impulsiveness, and excitement. So your underlying energy, my dear, yes, the Five of Wands. You're going through a lot of struggles right now. Struggles, conflicts, and trying to figure stuff out because your top card is also the Two of Pentacles. So you're doing a lot of juggling between work, taking care of the home, taking care of your man cubs, as you like to call them. So there is a lot on your plate, but just retain that beautiful Page of Swords. Don't give up that curiosity, that exploration of that thing that you want to do, like you mentioned, wanting to explore your cottage. Did you call it witch cottage or cottage or
Cottage core.
cottage core? So, but yeah, a rebirth is on its way, my dear. Sometimes we just gotta get out of our way. But I love those cards. So there you go, my dear. And thanks again for having me last night. It was a lot of fun. Except the Five of Wands, but the image was kind of witchy. Yes. Well, the Five of Wands, yeah, we've talked. I know what that's a lot about. So, but moving through that and just you're doing a lot. You give yourself credit for all the things that you have to balance and manage in life. I just love that court card just reminds you, along with the rebirth card, not to give up on those things that you want to do, those plans and goals that you have, like your witch core. So just do that. It's self-care. You really need an outlet to be able to, be able to decompress with everything that else that goes on in life. This is something that you deserve and for you to do for yourself. So I love that. And so fairy
Take up
singing.
space.
Yep. And you're working. And she says, perfect cards, ladies, inspiring. Well, we aim to please. So, all right, I think that was our last reading. And we're at 6:10. We'll check the chat. Let's see. We still
Thank
have
you for having me on, Heather. This was fun.
Oh, thanks for coming on. I love having you on. This is so much fun. It's a lot more fun to have it, it's a lot more, it's funner. It's a lot more fun, having somebody on with you than just talking, hanging out with yourself. I mean, we got people in chat, but it's nice when I have another
Oh, Miss Tarot D's here.
oh shit, we didn't end quite fast enough. Oh, damn, sorry. You aim to please. That means that I'm in the right place. Well, Miss Tarot D, would you like a reading from Miss Jax and I? I don't think you've ever had a reading. No, I don't think you've ever had a reading from Miss Jax. Would you be interested? Just let us know. And I hope you are doing. Now that's weird. On my screen, in my chat, the word right place. Does it show on the screen? No, it doesn't. But on my screen, the last 3 letters are all broken up. What is up with that, StreamYard?
Interesting.
Miss Tarot D, I told everybody that I got to enjoy my bath time, my private time to myself today without being called and bothered.
Private time.
I was able. But yes, the exotic, fantabulous Miss Tarot D. See, I drop everything for her except the towel. That one day I would not drop the towel, but I made sure that I got to talk to my Miss Tarot D. I would love a reading from Miss Jax. What an honor. So, all
right. I've been shuffling, so.
Heather was holding the bubbles. Ginger. Sorry. Oh, that's funny.
There is no such thing as the end. Only the strangest change there has ever been. Spiral. See that? Being an awareness is a never-ending mystery with no finale. Don't fear the end. It is only change. And don't fear the change. It is never the end. Buddha says that change is inevitable. We need to learn to surf the changes no matter what we do. All right. Water the things you care about. It ain't always going to be dirt. The grass only is greener where you water it. That's pretty true across the board.
So aim wisely, Miss Tarot D.
Put some Cheerios so you know where to hit. Everything was once a tiny version of itself. The universe itself was once the size of a sesame seed. Trust that if you consistently show up and make the effort, your dreams will come to fruition. Becoming is a big thing in the community, and once we become who we knew we always were, to let them out and be free, it's a magical thing. And then your final card is good night, and you didn't get enough done today. If you wish there was more hours in the day, then you must enjoy what you do. With a job, you're always waiting for the clock to run out. With a career, there's never enough time in the day. Get some rest. The sun will be back at the same time tomorrow. So remember to triage your things, right? Because it may not be Miss Tarot D's, could be the collective or something else. And what if it's tomorrow Miss Tarot D's problem? You don't have to do everything right now, do you? Who says? Sometimes the race is in your brain. And that's what I have for you, Miss Tarot D.
Ooh, I love that. You're an excellent reader. I can't wait to see what you start doing with the tarot. Woo-hoo. So, Miss Tarot D, talking about a day. we hope you had a blessed day. And I never got this card in this deck pulled, so I'm just going to kind of, and I opened right up to it. This is from sunrise to moonset. You're blessed to have good luck. If you see this card in a reading, know that today is your day to act upon your wishes. The silk moth is a symbol of internal transformation and hope. Start directing change toward what you want to achieve. It all starts with believing that you can. Joy and happiness will surround you and follow you the entire day. Spread your wings, embrace the beautiful energy, and share it with the rest of the world, which you always, always do with us, Miss Tarot. And the affirmation with this card is, I am joyous. Even on those rough days, you still bring joy to us, and make sure that you bring some joy to yourself as well. Your tarot cards. So the top card is the Fool. And I like this because it's about potential. It's about being afraid and going forward and doing it anyway. There is, in one of my other decks, they talk about, people naysaying our dreams and our goals. But if you believe that you can, you will. And you have that beautiful Fool energy.
Just because someone puts the poo-poo platter in front of you doesn't mean you have to eat it.
Yeah. So follow those dreams, my dear. Let's go to your middle card, because right now I'm getting the Eight of Swords. It feels like you are in a mental block. I always kind of associate the term, that analysis paralysis with this card. In this deck, her eyes aren't blindfolded, but they are closed. And so it feels like there are still some things that are holding you back, thoughts, concerns, worries. And we all know a lot of what you've been through. So some of that we can't see as being reasonable thoughts and feelings that come over us that feel like they hold us back. But that Fool card is like almost kind of like the school pass. It's giving you the pass to be able to maybe start walking through those swords, not being afraid of maybe going for what it is that you want. And your underlying energy is the Nine of Swords. And so there's a lot of worry and anxiety right now. And I feel so bad that you go through that, Miss Tarot D, because you do bring us so much joy and so much laughter, and you do inspire, especially with everything that you share that you go through. So hopefully this helps a little bit. But I like that Fool card. It's like she's walking, and in my deck, looking down here at the layout, Miss Tarot D, these two cards, she's facing this way. So she's walking away from the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords and following, her true path, or something that she wants to explore and follow. That's what's in your heart. So that's what I have for you, Miss Tarot D. And again, you are a blessing to all of us. And I hope you know that. And we love you. Mwah. And Miss Nancy is here.
Hi, Nancy.
I saw, and she said, thank you. Such a beautiful message. That was for you. And there's Nancy saying hello. And
you're welcome, Miss Tarot D.
Is home. And let's see. All righty, want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you again. You're welcome, Miss Tarot D. And we love you too. See? Love you too, Miss Tarot D. So feel the love. So we're at a good time now. So usually an hour and a half is usually a good time to wrap things up. So Jax, thanks again for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Whenever you want, just let me know.
Okay.
You're always welcome. And then maybe I might put my sidekicks back up there. Who knows? We'll see. But I love hanging out with all of you. And make sure, everyone, that you do subscribe to Jax. She does post fur baby shorts. And Miss Taro D, she's got some. Yours are like Chihuahua mix, right?
Yes. Well, I have an apple-headed Chihuahua, and then I have a Chihuahua Jack Russell Terrier. He's a little tank, a little
So
unit.
Miss Taro D has two, Chihuahuas of her own. So go check them out. They're absolutely adorable.
They're
And
ridiculous. I love them.
also to subscribe so that when Jack starts doing her shorts for her readings, you'll be able to see what she's got to say and how she's blossoming and growing. So she's part of our community now. Yay! So, and for me, I don't know, I might do something tomorrow. Sunday, I'll probably do the poetry. I have a workshop I have to prepare for next week that goes towards my peer certification. It's going to be a 3-day, so I might do a couple shows. I'm not sure if I'll have the energy for that. My brain might be just absolute mush. But Monday, I'm going to be looking into a goddess that Magus recommended. So I'm looking forward to researching her. And again, everybody, have a good week. Take good care of yourself. Take time, detach as much as possible, and focus on those little things that make you happy, that bring you joy. So,
Have a good night, everybody.
and Ms. Taro D says, yes, glad you're putting yourself out there, Jax.
Thank
Really.
you.
All righty. So, yep, we'll end on there. Blessings and light to everyone. Good night, and thank you again.